weeks, guys, 3 weeks, but I'm finally back. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of February. This is my podcast where I am talking about knitting, spinning, crocheting, sewing, building house, not building house, renovating house, farm, being a mom, everything between that. But here on my podcast I'm mainly talking about knitting and spinning and crocheting, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And then we're gonna have to have a little bit of a life update, and we're also going to have a small little farm update. But anyway, as I said, it had been 3 rough weeks, but we will talk about that in a should we just start with the fun part. And you can also find me on Instagram and Ravelry and also Etsy, and I'm called there Emilionstyle. So we can start with the first finished object. I only have 2 this week, so, and this had been finished for 2 weeks now, and it is of course my Halibut sweater. I will pop in a picture of me wearing it. That I also have the best backdrop for it, because we was away to the Vasa Museum here in Sweden. And as you might can see, we have the whole turtleneck. It's so cozy. I'm wearing this a lot. My mom have already borrowed it once, and I go immediately back and stole it back to myself. Otherwise it will end up in her wardrobe and I will never see it again. On myself, we say, because I would see it on her. So it's knitted in 1 strand of Drops Charisma in the colorway Petrol, but it is numbered, so I know the colorway name is not written out all over the place. So I will try to remember to put the yarn down in the description box. All the links for the things I'm talking about that has a pattern is going to be linked down below, so you know. So I used 1 strand of Drops Charisma and 1 strand of Drops Kids Mohair, Kids Mohair, and I love it. I do, but I don't wear it today because I need to go out on the farm, and I'm careful with this one. My mainly farm sweater is my Wild Posy in Plotlopi that I made this summer. No, the beginning of the last spring, so 1 year ago now. Almost 1 year ago. So this is how it's turned out. And then I did finish the pairs of socks that I have been working on in the car when I have it going somewhere. So those are finished, and this is in the colorway The Crazy Cat Lady from Limo Design. So that's the 2 things that is finished. But I have also made a little bit of progress on my Maja cardigan. The last time I was recording I had just finished this sleeve, but now I have done the 2nd sleeve, and I also have started on the body. So this cardigan is a free pattern and is made in 1 strand of Plotlopi, and it's color work on the sleeves and also on the yoke part of this cardigan, and also of the bottom on the body. So I'm working on this part now, and it's a stick cardigan. But if you don't want to stick, I think you can figure out how you work it back and forth also. But sticking is not so scary as it might sound. I like to stick garments. that's one of my favorite things, because I have no problem purling, color work, stranded knitting, but it is not my favorite thing to do. So if I don't have to, I'm more than happy to don't do it. So yeah, I prefer to do it the stick way anyway. So this is the thing I'm not working on right now. Actually, I did, but then I decided to start another thing because I couldn't resist. One of my favorite indie dyer here in Sweden, I have two. The one pretty much my go-to is Limo Design. You probably know that if you're a returning viewer, but then I have another one who is a lot smaller than Limo, and that's Diana from Häxkettel Dye. And she did a shop update, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't. And the biggest mistake I did, the thing was that I had Alva in my lap when I was sitting and looking through Instagram, and she announced that she had a new shop update, and Alva saw it, and it's this one. This is her merino sock base, and the color is called Colors, and of course my little Alva wanted it because she wanted a new dress. So I started a new dress for her. So this is how much I have done on this one, and it's this dress from this one. I see, so I don't show the pattern actually. Hanami by Lisa Chemery. I have knit a lot of pattern from her before, but I think I have made one cardigan to Alva before, but I have made a lot of both cardigan and sweater for my youngest son Victory, and I really really like pattern for kids because she has a lot of beautiful pattern. Her pattern instruction is very simple and very clear, straightforward, and she also includes when it's a little bit more tricky parts, some video instructions. So if you are a beginner and want to knit something for maybe your child or another child in your life, I highly recommend her patterns, because you can do a very interesting pattern with this one, with not so much effort. It's not so advanced as it might seem. As this star stitch, it is not so hard as it might seem. Don't mind this two, because those two stripes are actually not included in the pattern. It is something I did for a little bit of more design element, and also because I'm thinking of, I will see after I block this. This is quite see-through, and it is the front part of this beautiful dress, so I maybe will line it with a sparkly fabric that I have at home, but I will see if it's necessary. So then I made these two stripes, and also a stripe down here. You probably not even see it, because I wanted the sparkly fabric to actually show through, otherwise it's going to be just fine a little design element that I decided I wanted on this one. And we have not decided if we are going for long or short sleeve. She cannot make up her mind right now, so I'm keep on working on the skirt. So it's going to be a very long dress for her, because she loves wearing long dresses. And also, the thing I'm thinking of, she's 5 now, doing short sleeves for this dress makes it wearable much longer. Because when, you know, if you have kids or are around kids, you know, they're growing like crazy. But with short sleeve, it's not so notable that they're starting to grow out of the clothes, because if you have a straight long sleeve that's going to end with their hands when they're starting to grow, and you miss this part of the dress, it's not that long as it should be, it's so noticeable, visible, that it's starting to get too small. So that's one reason I want her to choose the short sleeves, but we will see what's happening. Otherwise, it's just ripping up the sleeves again when she's starting to grow. Because with Diana, you have just, she do her updates, she has a few skeins. I bought all 3 in this colorway, Kalas as it's called. So I have 1 cake left now, 1 skein left after this one. And this I have just attached, so I think I will be probably fine anyway. But then it is what it is. You're not gonna find it again. So yeah, it's coming along. I hopefully will have this done for the next episode. Because now it's almost plain stockinette, and then I'm gonna do some I-cord. Yes, an I-cord neckline, and maybe the peacock edging. We shall see. Now I need some coffee, and we need to talk about coffee later on, by the way. And today I'm a stormtrooper. It's not my mug, it's my husband's mug. So that's one new cast on. Then I have another new cast on, a comfy knit as I used to call them, because I am feeling a little bit down lately, but it is what it is. It has no pattern. Sorry for the mess on the bed, because I did actually make this bed before I started to film, but then my crazy dog Falcon decided to unmake my bed, and then I just thought, oh, let it be then. I started a shawl. This will be a shawl, and it's going to be striped, and it's going to go from those 2 colors to white, speckly, lilac purple, and all the way to solid purple. And it's going to be a huge one, and I am choosing to use also mohair. So I'm working with 4 strands of yarn, but only 2 strands at the same time. So I'm doing 2 rows of striping, and then I'm switching color, and I do on every second row one increase on this side. So, and then I switch my color on the other side, so I don't switch my color where I do the increases. So this will be a huge, just comfy, giant shawl, slinket, whatever you want to call it. And I started this just because I wanted something mindless, cozy, big, warm, and also something really, really easy, because me and my husband, we are going away the 2nd of March on a little trip, just him and I, for the first time in 7 years. And we are going to be away the whole weekend, and I wanted something big but easy to work on. I didn't want to just take with me a sock or something. I wanted something a little bit bigger, but also I wanted something for the nights to work on. So that's knitting wise what's going on right now. And yeah, I do also still working on Victory's Battenberg blanket. Is starting to be a lot of squares now, so I'm thinking of all of this white is going to be my joining square, but I'm thinking I need to start to join together the squares now and actually starting to shape the blanket. But I have also been spinning, and my first, and here it comes when my brains stop working. I don't know why I did it this way when I shouldn't, but it is what it is anyway. Here's my first single. As you see, it goes from this reddish to white. It is Scotland, is some local breed, is merino, is silk, stellina, everything is in this little batch of, I also think it's alpaca, in this little ball. And I did actually, this is going to be a 2-ply. I'm trying to make my, and I think I actually might succeed this time, because I wanted a DK weight for the sock spin along this time, because this is probably the most warm socks that I'm going to knit, because most of my hand spun sock with just the most part of it is just naturally wool. It's the warmest sock I have, and I wanted a thicker sock to my working boots, because if you have a farm, it doesn't matter if it is 30 degrees minus Celsius outside, you are going out there, you're going to the barn, and you are keep doing all chores. So you need to have proper clothing so you don't gonna freeze. So that's what I wanted to do this time. So this is my first single, and then I'm gonna spin my other single in the same way. But why in heck did I do a center pull ball? I should just have a switch bobbin so I could just ply them together. I didn't know what I was thinking of. I didn't. Probably I was thinking that I'm going to ply this center pull ball. Ply. But I won't. So now I need to take this cake and put it on my other bobbin. Or maybe I should be fine. Or maybe not. We will see how this is ending, but this is my first single anyway. So I have started my other single, and my sample for the spin did my little Alma made for me with me, using the spinning wheel together with me, and we had a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, but that's more or less everything that's going on knitting wise. Otherwise, life stuff have been crazy. First, Alva came down with the flu, then my oldest son. I did survive though this time. I didn't catch it yet. So those two have been sick, and now it's Victory, but he has a lot of coughing, and he coughs a lot right now. But he's pretty well anyway. He is up and running. But let me see now. 3 weeks. The first week they were sick. The second week, when my older son was back in school again, he was out and was on his way to the school bus, and he slipped and fell pretty damn bad. He didn't break anything bone wise, but he did hit his hand pretty bad, so he actually needed to have a few stitches, because he cut his hand open all the way from here to there, and yeah, it was bleeding like crazy. And also he had a huge bleeding in his thumb, and some soft material damage to it, so he cannot use his thumb. And he's so swollen and he's so bruised and blue. And that's quite bad, because this week actually is what we call our sports break, when the most of the people who are out from the schools and free from work and all of that are going skiing or skating. And he was a hockey goalie. He's not a hockey goalie anymore because he decided to quit because of a lot of stuff going on in the team, but he still loved to play hockey with his friends. And the plan for this week was playing hockey with his friend and go skiing and all of that. So now he's just sad, angry, and a little bit depressed. But anyway, he is in driver school, so he do something fun anyways, because he is up for taking his driver license for, we have a thing that's called EPA in Sweden. It's a slow going car that you are allowed to drive from the day you are turning 15, and he's turning 15 really soon. Too soon. March 13 he is actually going to be 15. I cannot believe he's going to be so big this year. So he's in driver school now, preparing to take his driver license for that, and he and my dad is actually building this car for him from scratch. Yeah, so it would be fun. He is going to scare me to death because I don't want him out in the traffic, but I have to see that he is starting to get thick, and I hope he will listen to me and behave. So yeah, anyway, that's just mommy worries. Otherwise we had a storm that almost destroyed all of our cherry trees. So we needed to cut down every cherry tree we had. That would be 6 of 7 cherry trees, because with the storm and the amount of snow, and it was on the positive side of the heat on the outside, the temperature, it was like 3 degrees Celsius when the storm came, so it was a really heavy snow, so they braked. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know what I should say, but today I just had enough. So it is what it is. It's not this what it is. Should we talk about the coffee before we do the hardest stuff? This Christmas I bought a new coffee machine because our old one was quite bad. It didn't want to brew the coffee, and sometimes it just stand and blink and said it was some type of error. It was quite old one. So I bought a new one, and I'm a person who wants my coffee really, really hot. But this coffee machine makes it so cold. You can... It's like lukewarm. And that's not my taste at all. So I'm quite depressed. So I need to heat it in my microwave. And that's also depressing. So I need a new one again. So yeah, that was my complaining about the coffee, by the way. But this night have been a horrible night, because this night our dear family friends left us. She passed away. Everything did go very calmly. She passed away in her sleep, and I knew this day would come, but I wasn't prepared anyway. And You might ask why I'm still doing this podcast today, because she should probably kill me if she knew that I was skipping out of my plans, because one of the last things she told me before she got really down the road was, you should never skip a day because you are grieving over me. You should keep on going. So I had this already planned, and I stick to my words. Now she's free. She is free from suffering. And it's hard though. It's hard. She had been in my life as long as I can remember. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I didn't know what I would do when my mom called this morning and told me that it was over now. I felt a little bit of relief for her, and also this sadness and all the things you wanted to do and all the things you wanted to say before, but yeah, I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her a lot. But I promised her to still go strong, and I will. But it's hard. It is hard. I will not lie. And I have not told Victor yet. I need to, but I can't. I can't do that when I'm home alone with him, because I will be home alone with all the kids. The other kids, not Alma though, she's on a daycare, but the two oldest one they already know. I have already told them. But I need my husband to be home. He's at work. He is very far away today, actually. So I will be home alone with all the kids when Alva is coming back from daycare. So I need to be able to answer all his questions when I tell him, because it will be a lot of them. So yeah. I think that was all I had to say for today. Now I need to go and keep doing some chores outside or something. And hopefully I will see you next week. And take care.